What up, YouTube? So we got a lot to talk about. It's a lot been going on. Um, I know I'm kind of slow with the videos, but I'm kind of trying to just let everything pile up. And also been busy. Um, where are we going today? I think I want to cover a couple of topics. There was the car bomb um, there was a car bomb in California, I believe. So I think we can talk about that. Also, something else I thought was interesting was the Trump importing the white South Afrikaners, right? It's called them refugees from South Africa. Interesting. Looks like he has the so-called Latinos, Hispanics pissed off. Um, so yeah, it's some interesting news stories coming through. Stand by.
First of what the administration says is going to be a much larger number of white South Africans who are eligible and will be accepted into the United States as refugees under a program that the administration has suspended for really about 99% of the rest of the world. It is highly unusual for a group like this to come in under the refugee program, just as it has been highly unusual since the president took office for any group of refugees to come in. But President Trump has decided that these people, these Afrikaans, white South Africans, are in need of special attention, and he prioritized their processing under this program. And so within 3 months of him saying that, these people, this group of about 50, has already arrived, while refugees, asylum seekers, refugees,
So there you have it.
status
Right?
seekers.
So let me stop that right there. There you have it, right? So Donald Trump goes to South Africa, where 90% of the resource, probably 95% of the resources is controlled by white people and Indians in an African country, and says that these people are oppressed refugees that need to escape white genocide. Now, where am I going with this? This is something that needs to happen, right? Is it ridiculous? Absolutely. Is it a necessary evil? Absolutely. Right? I think because sometimes people need to be shocked into enlightenment. Right? People need, bear with me, I'm a little under the weather. I'm sick right now. But I'm going to try to get through this. People need to be shocked into enlightenment. People need to see how crazy sometimes people are, right? For instance, like Hispanics think that they're white people, right? And they'll call you a nigger, right? They think that they're white people. So they need to see something like this, where he putting them out and then bringing them white South Africans in that's oppressing black people in Africa, and then bring them into America. That's a very good visual for these Hispanics and Latinos. I know black. They'll tell you quick, I know black. I don't know nothing about that. I know like negro, right? They out in California, I think they got this thing called in the gang nigger killers and NK, where they target black people and throw firebombs in their homes. Right? And they very aggressive and hostile toward black people in America, who paved the way for them to be in America. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no hate, but it's hard for me to feel sorry for them. Especially since I had one of them, I had them do a lot of hostile stuff to me. I've talked about that. What happened to my son at the hands of some Hispanics, you know what I mean? So sometimes these kind of things need to happen. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Trump is not like I'm not bothered by this. Like one, because I'm not shocked. So I'm and Kamala Harris unbothered by the things that we could change. Whatever weird shit she was saying, she's such a weirdo. But yeah, I'm unbothered by this, right? Why? Because personally, I think we need to see more of it. You know, people need. Sometimes there's a concept, right, where you need to be made to be more ridiculous until you say, oh, when you come to your senses. So better for Trump to become more ridiculous with his antics until people come to their senses. But it doesn't matter, Trump, Biden, Harris, right? It would have still been an extremely crazy shit, right? Until people come to their senses. Whether it's immigrants coming across the border, you know, racist immigrants coming across the border, you know what I mean, who would probably eventually start clashing with, you know, other groups, you know, not just in the jails like Tory Lanez, but on the streets, you know, in a more open fashion. You know what I mean? Like where you see car bombs going off in California, right? Keep your eye on that because you're probably gonna see more of that. It was intentional, right? And you look at the damage from that. Woo! That guy took out like a fucking block. Like he took that whole, I saw a video, if that was the correct video, he took out like a big ass half a block. Like the whole building had collapsed, blew out the other side. Like, I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere near that. But that's just a sign of the times. You see? And so when I peeped that, I was just like, usually I post stories about stuff like that, but I didn't. I'm talking about it now, but I'm not going to run the story. I mean, I already talked about it, and I think people heard of it. But, you know, with Trump bringing in like these, you have to understand, these people he bringing in, hardcore Nazis. These South African whites that he bringing in here, got nothing on Trump. Trump got nothing on them. Hardcore Nazi, hardcore crackers. Yeah. Hardcore Nazis. I think I talked about this before. All right. And so, you know, it is what it is. Like, I hope that, but like I said, I hope to see more of it. Go ahead. Bring more of them in. Fuck it, bring them all in. They're probably going to start some shit and crash out eventually, right? It's going to be, you know, so that's good. I'm like the Joker. I'm an agent of chaos. Right? Like I love the drama. You know what I'm saying? I love to watch the drama. I don't be in no drama, but I love to watch it because I understand that it's a necessary evil. See, I don't believe in the lesser of two evils. I think that's but I do believe in necessary evil. Like the current environment that we're in, you need to see, you know, certain things. It is what it is, right? It's like if I tell you, for instance, if I sat down and tried to talk to a Hispanic person, right, about racism in America, I'd be wasting my time. You see what I'm saying? Like that shit is a waste of time. It's like talking to a woman about feminism, generally, right? It's a waste of time, right? I tried to talk to my mom one time, like, she's a feminist. She's like, yeah, I'm an independent woman. I was trying to tell her, like, that's stupid. You know, she's like, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, I'll talk to you later. I'm an old man. I don't have time for that. Right? I don't have time. I'm an old guy. And so, yeah, I have no time for that. To sit up and go back and forth with people about debates. Like I don't do debates like that. Sorry, I won't be doing any debates on my channel. You know what I mean? Like when you see these guys, they sit up and debate all of these 304s. Like, you know, bring a bunch of 30, like fresh and unfit two phony tethers, two disgusting tethers, right? And these guys are agents. Let's be clear. Fresh and Fit, they work for the government. They some tethers, and most of these tethers that you see that come to the United States from, well, no matter where they're from, basically agents of chaos or actual agents. Like these people from South Africa, actual just agents of chaos, and some of them will be actual agents, right? Like they don't mean you no good. Them being here is not a plus. Like it's like, oh shit, immigrants from South Africa. Oh shit, immigrants from wherever. Yay! Trust me, no, boo. Like, it's a bad thing, but it's a necessary evil. Like it has to happen, right? I mean, it's almost biblical. It talks about that in the Bible. You look at the book of Joel. So what's happening is all part of the plan, the process. You need Donald Trump is a necessary evil. The Bible says, the Lord said, I am the Lord, I am God. I make good and I make evil. You see? So evil is needed sometimes to teach people. You see? Whether it's Puff Daddy and Cassie, whether it's whatever, right? You need sometimes evil is necessary to teach people. Because people don't, that's why I don't debate people. Like, I tell, listen, I can teach you, but I'm not going to debate you. Not that I know everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like, certain things, I know I'm not going to debate you. Especially when I hear you say something I know you don't know. And I know that you're not interested in learning. Okay, you can hit the road. I got shit to do. My time is short. Okay? So I'm not going to do that. And any practical, smart guy is not going to do that, right? Like arguing with women about feminism and creating a debate to bring women in and debate women about feminism, or arguing with Hispanics about, that they're not considered white by white people, while watching them import South African Nazis and deport them, but they still don't get it. And you want me to debate you? You want me to talk to you about that? No, no, no. Let the necessary evil occur. And if either you get it, either you get it and you become enlightened, or you learn the hard way. Not that it'll ever benefit me. You know what I'm saying? Like these Hispanics and these other groups that think they, white adjacent. I don't give a fuck if you get it or not. Because they may get it, doesn't mean that they're gonna be my ally or friend. Right? They may be like, yeah, I know this dude, these people, definitely, they're not, they're anti whatever. But I'm not your friend, like I'm not your ally. I'm not fucking with you, fooling with you. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I don't have time to worry about who don't like me. Obviously, right? I'm out of time. I'm on the back end of this thing, so I'm too old to worry about that kind of thing. I'm trying to just enjoy the rest of my ride, because it's just a ride, then it's over with. That's the end, and then it ain't no coming back. So you want to go out on top, or you know what I mean? You want to go out shooting for the stars, right? Shooting your best shots. You don't want to go out worrying about petty people that don't get it, immature people. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to cover a couple of topics. How make sure I post something for for my subscribers, for my one subscriber, soon to be 100,000 maybe, right? Who want to get some of this ism, right? So I appreciate y'all rocking with me, whoever's rocking with me, and hopefully you get the point. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but yeah. So that's all I want to talk about right now. I wanted to cover this situation, touch on that situation with the white South African. this is also why, let me say this too, I don't call myself African American anymore. Because now, these people are African American. These white Nazis from South Africa are African American now. And I'm African American too. Does that make sense? I'm just saying, does it make sense for me to call myself African American? Like, I don't want to be associated with them. All right? Like the Bible say, be ye separate. I don't want to be associated with these people. Don't call me African American. One, I ain't African. That's number one. I ain't no African. My great grandfather's African. Right? I'm not African. Now, he might have been African. My great grandpa might have been African. But I'm not. I've been in North America. My people been in North America for almost 500 years. Over 400 years. So that ship has sailed. Ain't no go back to Africa. It's wait for Christ, the Messiah, to come and take you home. That's what the prophecy said. Other than that, we fight and we die here. You see what I'm saying? We fight and we stay here. Hold it down. You know what I'm saying? And draw a line in the sand when anybody trying to move us. It's the mission is the mission. Until, Christ come and change the parameters of the mission. Okay? So I'm not African American. You know what I mean? That's a joke. At this point, that's obviously a joke. Like I got into it, I think with I think it was that guy Amazing Lucas. One night I was bored talking to him. I don't know why. He's a fucking loser. This dude, what a loser. He's definitely an agent too. Like first he was a Republican, then he's a Democrat. Straight shill. Definitely an agent, right? And he wanted, he got mad. I was saying the same thing, right? Here's what I said about debating people, right? I was just talking about it, and then he wanted to go back and forth. And I was like, He got mad because I said being African American is stupid. Calling yourself that. He was like, you got to stick, you can't delineate. You have to stick with, try to bring in and stick with people and all this. So you mean call myself African American and stick with these white South African Nazis, and then we all try to, what are you talking about? Now something like this happened and blows his whole argument out the water. That's what I mean about debating with people. He got mad because I said, I'd rather be called FBA or ADOS or something like that rather than be called African American, because I don't want to be grouped with these South African people like Elon Musk. I don't want to be in a group with him. You know what I mean? But this dude wanted to argue with me that I was wrong. What do you mean you can't, calling yourself something other than African American is stupid, and these ADOS FBA type monikers are bad news, and I'm like, man, you a Democratic shill. Cut it out. Knock that bullshit off. That's why you so up in arms about this, because they cutting you a check. I'm telling you, hey, stop that. Don't let them people talk about, being FBA or ADOS, using different monikers. They have to use what we tell them to use. Fuck you. You don't define me. You have to tell these people, you don't define me. I know who I am. I know what I am. And I'm definitely not a fucking African American. If Elon Musk and these jokers are, I'm definitely not. I'm just an American. I'm a Negro that live in America. I'm just an American, descendant of slavery. I'm ADOS, I'm FBA. And that is what it is. Until the Lord come and change it. Right? Then I'm going home. Right? Then it don't matter no more what the fuck you call me. You know what I mean? Except I'll be gone. Call me gone like a motherfucker, because I will be out of here, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully by that time they turn this place into a wasteland. As it should, right? Like in the Bible it talks about, the wicked land shall be the place of the dwelling be destroyed and become the place, habitation of foul creatures. That's America. That's the fate of America. So let these people do whatever they want to do. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to go on vacation, enjoy the rest of the time I got left on this planet in a physical form. You know what I mean? And I advise everybody else do the same. You know what I mean? Just be observant, though. You know what I mean? Like, stay focused, stay on your grind, but be observant. Don't get caught up in all this bullshit. America, fuck yeah. Grabbing your flag, worrying about these South Africans, Donald Trump, or whatever, I mean, even though, well, I ain't gonna go down that path, but yeah, don't worry about that. You gotta just try to stay up, stay on your grind and stay up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, and especially with, like I said, you see them setting off car bombs in Cali and shit like that. Shit is heating up. You see that kind of shit, right? It's heating up. So last time we saw something like that was like, what, 3 years ago? I think in Tennessee, on Christmas with a dude, you know what I'm saying, blew up the van or some shit. But this was even bigger. This shit here was, this was a bigger joint. So, but that's just a sign of the time. So, also you keep an ace up your sleeve. You know what I mean? But shit, I don't worry about that kind of shit. I don't give a fuck no more. I try to keep an ace up your sleeve just in case shit goes south. You know what I mean? What they say, the 3 Gs. What is it? Gold, and a getaway plan, right? Keep an ace up your sleeve just in case shit go, totally south. Other than that, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Have a clear understanding of the big picture. That's what I'm saying. Like, this kind of just a big picture talk. I think I'll call it that. Just a big picture talk. And don't get like I've been working on projects. Like, I'm gonna post some of my projects. Like, I'm working on a web page with different projects, and I'm gonna post that a link. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a presentation, and because it's a lot of good digital products on that page, and some training that people could take advantage of, and I'll be offering like free technical training, stuff like that. So don't focus on this bullshit. This bullshit is I used to focus on it. I don't have time now. I really don't. Like, I try to focus more on productive projects, right? But particularly since I'm trying to retire, right? I'm retiring soon, and I'm being pushed into retirement. Once you get a certain age, they force you into retirement, and that's something a lot of young guys need to understand. Like, stay on your grind while you're young, like, and get it in. Don't let nothing get you off track, because by the time you get like 40, they start pushing you out the workplace, and your opportunities become more limited, especially when you're Black. So, yeah, get your bag, get in your bag. You know what I mean? Like, early, like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck bitches. You know what I mean? Fuck what your mama talking about, your aunt, whoever. Get in your bag. You know what I mean? And try not to have no kids, but if you do, keep your kids close to you. Keep them away from women. Like, please, like, I'm gonna say that I got to rap, but I got a ton of shit to do. But I'm gonna rap on that, like, for young guys. You know what I mean? Like, stay focused on productive projects, and if you do have kids and you're young, I would say keep them away from women. You know what I mean? Like, keep your kids. I don't give a fuck what. If you're a man, like, you want to work or whatever, but make sure if you got kids and you're young, that was a mistake I made. I let people pretty much put a wedge in between me and my children, and it came back to haunt me. So I learned the lesson from that. That because time can get away from you, and your kids can get away from you. You know what I mean? Like, fuck their life up, and even if it's not totally your fault, you're gonna feel bad about it. You know what I mean? And so you want to do all you can, you know, if you're young and, you know, young guy or whatever, you happen to have kids, to keep your kids close to you. And in the modern era, keep them away from modern women. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck what. Not their mother, not their grandmother, not their aunt, not their cousins, none of that. Keep them the fuck away from these women. Unless you around. You know what I mean? Unless you around. When you around, it's cool. Like, you know, if you got work or whatever, cool. When you come, like, I don't believe in, I'm gonna say this in my rap, right? I don't believe in traditional roles. And I'm gonna do another video on this. I'm gonna end on this though, but I don't believe in traditional roles. What I'm gonna tell you though is hard, gonna be hard for you if you Americanized. You've been, you know, especially if you're young black in America, you know, young guy, whatever, so-called black. It's gonna be hard for you to digest. Right? But like my grandfather, right? I'm looking at his picture right now, and I'm still learning from him, his example, because he led by example. He wasn't no talker. My grandfather ain't talk a lot, but he put that work in. He was in World War II, and you know what I mean. Worked on a railroad, shit like that. Ran numbers. He was a thorough dude, thorough bad motherfucker, right? And but he was a quiet cat. He was, you know, but he talked to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he would talk to me a lot, you know, a lot when we was together. But he wouldn't talk to people. Like he didn't know, like, you know, he talked to maybe his family. He would talk to me a lot, like when he was around. But he was a quiet guy other than that. And so, but one thing I learned from his example, like he was in charge of everything. That's what I wanted to say. Like my pops, he was in charge. I didn't realize it until I got older, right? He was in charge of everything. The kids, the food, cars, the house. He paid all the bills. And he was in charge of everything. And it wasn't until I got older I realized that. So as a man, I realized like, God damn, it ain't no traditional role. I'm responsible for everything because the man is the head according to God. You see what I'm saying? The man is the head. And so you in charge of everything, but that's gonna be hard, like in the age of modern women and modern dating. Women are gonna try to push you. They're gonna pay for this though. That's a whole nother video though. Like it's a harsh judgment coming for these women. I'm telling you, like I've seen it in dreams. But they're gonna try to push back. I don't give a fuck if it's your mother, your grandmother, your cousin, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. Push back. This is war. Right? You are responsible. As a man, you're responsible for everything. You know, and her job, she don't have a traditional role. Women don't have a traditional role. This is where you go wrong with all that red pill, black pill. A woman role is whatever you tell her to do. And if she don't dig that, then she can get her ass out of here. That's how that works. You're in charge of everything. What's going on with the kids? Where they at? You know what I mean? If you at work, what's up with the kids? You got to look into that. Cause women are fucked up. Trust me, I don't give a fuck if it's your grandmother and nobody. They fucked up, dog. Trust me. I don't want to get in too deep into it. But as a man, your job is everything. The kids, the cooking, the cleaning, the food, the job, the work, the roof, the tires on the car. You're responsible for everything. And it's not a burden. It's just that's how God made you. It's not a burden. It's part of what makes you a man. That's why God put you in charge. The woman is a natural born fucker. I don't give a fuck if she got a fucking a doctorate and whatever. Trust. I don't give a fuck how many degrees. Do not leave them around your children. She needs to see that you're in charge of everything. What kind of food is it? What? No. We ain't eating no motherfucking pork in here. What we having to dinner? Well, I don't know. Just better have some beef in it. Fuck it, beef tonight. Well, I was gonna get chicken. Well, I want beef. You such an asshole. I know, but make it beef. Slap on her ass and then go to work. She's like, oh, you're such a chauvinist. Yep. And it's gonna be hard because you're gonna lose a lot of friends, like female friends or girlfriends, whatever, wives, might. But it's gonna be worth it in the end. Right. Make sure you're in charge of everything. Because in a modern era, I'm gonna end on this. If you're not in a modern era, if you're not in charge of everything as the man, I don't give a fuck how much money she make. Right? I had a chick tell me, yo, I'm making 16 grand a month. I'm doing good. I'm thinking to myself, I don't give a shit about that. Right? I'm trying to smash you. You're going to do what the fuck I tell you to do. Other than that, I don't care how much money you make. That's more than I make. But if you ain't breaking me off some paper and breaking me off some pussy and doing what I want, that doesn't matter to me. It's still, and if you was, it still don't matter. You got to do what I tell you to do. I don't give a fuck how much money you make. Right? And as a man, you have to fight against the urge to give in to the feminist mindset and don't become a male feminist. Stay in charge of your children. If a woman is in charge of the children, no, she not. You are. The woman in charge of cooking, no, she not. You are. Right? She might cook the food, but you in charge of making sure you like come in. Need some more salt. Need some more oregano. What? I said need some more oregano. Oh, okay. Got fucking oregano in there. All right, that's good. Where the kids at? All right, let me see what's going on. That's your job. You in charge of everything, right? Because she's gonna if you don't have that kind of like rigid outlook on things in the modern era, she's gonna fuck it up. You're gonna have problem with your kids. You look at all these dudes, all this shit going on now. It's because of that. Because men, I realized that. I realized through my own mistakes and looking at my grandfather and measuring shit out and contrasting and like, yo. But here's the problem though. This is gonna cause a lot of friction. You know what I mean? You just gotta know that. You dig what I'm saying? So the best thing you have to do is try to avoid it. Right? If you choose wisely and keep leverage on these women or don't fuck with them. Keep a lot of leverage when you're dealing with women in case you get out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? Keep a lot of leverage or don't do it. You know what I mean? Because you risking nowadays, I mean, you look at Smokey Robinson and, you know what I mean? And Diddy and Shannon Sharp and, you know, whoever. If you ain't got a lot of leverage in the situation and you ain't got control over the situation, your life is in jeopardy, your children's life is in jeopardy and their future. Right? So as a man, you got to be in charge of everything. Right? They can call it, you know who was like that? Prince. His wife said he was like that. Said, Prince will always tell me what to wear. I don't like that. Change your clothes. I don't like that. Put that on. We going here tonight. We doing this. You going to get this kind of car. She said Prince was very controlling. Because his father was probably old school and he learned that. He was like, he was in charge of everything. So he was, and people that worked with him said he was like that. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was talking about Prince and said the thing about Prince was he was making you better. Jimmy Jam said Prince would look at me and be like, we'd be practicing and he'd look over and he'd say, Jimmy Jam, you need to, hit that drum or whatever, do that. And he said, like, Prince, God damn. He said, all right, he tried to do it. Boom, boom, boom. He just kept getting on about do this, do that. He said, but then when he looked up, he became a better musician. He said, God damn, Prince was right. You see what I'm saying? And so as a man, that's what you need to be leading people into making them better. Whether it's your wife, your family, your children. You have to lead and inspire and to make them better. You gotta be able to see, like, be cool and see what they need to do, right? Like you say, okay, you see their talent and then you see how to mold them. You say, okay, you like this. You know what I mean? Like my grandfather, he knew what kind of ice cream I like. He said, boy, you like strawberry ice cream. You like this. He knew everything about, he knew everything about you, right? He knew his kids. Most people don't even know what the fuck their kids like. My grandfather knew what kind of ice cream I like. That's how great the duty was, how cool, how he was like always watching the kids, making sure everything was good. You looking out, you know what I'm saying? And how attentive he was as a man. And men had to do that. There is no get away from that whole like, oh, it's traditional. That's that bullshit talking point. Be like my grandfather. He was in charge of everything. And I'm gonna tell you something. When he died, it all fell apart. That's how that was the lesson for me. When he died, that shit started falling apart like that. That's how I know what I'm telling you is true. I watched it over the years. So anyway, I gotta run, man. I got so much shit to do. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'll see you guys on the next one.